Friends, in the season of Remembrance, there are so many different facets to think about. And I wanted to offer you something of our story, the story of my late husband and myself, in the hope that this might just encourage some more thought and reflection round about this season. My husband, Colin Gardner, served in military intelligence from 1974 to 1981, and much of that time was spent in Northern Ireland, but also some other places. He was very proud to serve and he wanted to do the right thing. He came back to Glasgow and he had a head injury which resulted in some epilepsy, but it was well managed. He had a good quality of life and he did really, really well. It was quite a number of years after that I met him. We got married, we had a son, lots of really good things and lots of blessings, which I'm so grateful for. However, what did become apparent was just that my husband's epilepsy, unfortunately, was less well controlled and became degenerative, and there were a lot of post-traumatic stress symptoms that he suffered from as well. A really strong startle reflex, some really difficult behavioural issues, and it was a really he suffered from a lot of really difficult times in his life as a result. He passed away 2.5 years ago, and he had written some poems about different aspects of his life, and I wanted to compile them and put them together and have them published, and so I've been able to do a bit of that, and also to say a little bit about not just his story but our story as a family. And the reason I did that was just to give some of his writings a bit of context, and also because I think that often we think about veterans, but we don't maybe always remember about their families. And I think that their families very often are intricately involved in their story and in that search for healing and well-being that we are all on, and we've all embarked upon. And so there is a bit in here about our story as a family. I've learned a new term about vicarious trauma, and that's just where sometimes the people that are closest to the one who has suffered almost feel as if they've suffered the same thing as well, just because it feels so real. And some of Colin's stories about car bombs and shootings and different things, I've heard so often that it almost feels as if I was there and experienced some of that too. So I just wanted to offer this round about Remembrance, just to encourage people to remember veterans and their families, and the longer term effects of what happens when they come back home, and to encourage for there to be good support and good care for everybody concerned, because sometimes it seems that adjustment to civilian life is just so very, very difficult. So what we did was we wrote this book, Love Song for a Wounded Warrior. It is available through Amazon, or there are contact details as well with this wee video, and I'd be happy to send you one. It's £10 and all the profits go to Epilepsy Connections and also to the Coming Home Centre in Govan. So I just want to read you one of Colin's poems, and it's just called Forgotten Sons. Armalite, street lights, night sights, searching the roofs for a sniper, viper fighter. Death in the shadows, he'll maim you, wound you, kill you, for a long forgotten cause, on not so foreign shores, boys baptized in wars. Morphine, chill scream, bad dream, serving as numbers and dog tags, flag rag, sandbags. Your girl has married your best friend, love's end, poison pen, your flesh will always creep, tossing, turning sleep, the wounds that burn so deep. Your mother sits at the edge of the world, when the cameras start to roll, panoramic viewpoints, resurrect the killing fold. Your father drains another beer, he's one of the few that cares, crawling behind a Saracen's hull from the safety of his living room chair. Forgotten sons, forgotten sons, forgotten sons. And so, as I patrol in the valley of the shadow of the tricolour, I must fear evil, for I am but mortal, and mortals can only die. Asking questions, pleasing answers, from the nameless, faceless watchers that stalk the carpeted corridors of Whitehall, who order desecration, mutilation, verbal masturbation in their guarded bureaucratic rooms. Minister, minister, care for your children. Order them not into damnation, to eliminate those who would trespass against you. For whose is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Halt, who goes there? Death. Approach, friend. You're just another coffin on its way down the emerald aisle, where the children's stony glances mourn your death in a terrorist smile. The bomber's arms places fiery gifts on the supermarket shelves. Alleys sing with shrapnel, detonate a temporary hell, forgotten sons. From the dole queue to the regiment, a profession in a flash. But remember Monday signings, when from door to door you dash. On the news, a nation mourns you. Unknown soldier, count the cost. For a second you'll be famous, but labelled posthumous. Forgotten sons, forgotten sons. Peace on earth and mercy mild. Mother Brown has lost her child. Just another forgotten son. The poems that Colin wrote express something of the pain and anguish of his memories, and I just wanted to offer these to you. As a family, we've been very grateful for the power of prayer, for many wonderful friends that have kept us going and encouraged us even in the very darkest of days. And so I want to encourage others in a similar situation to keep on going, to look for support, to find others who will listen and be there for you. And I want to just finish with some words from a beautiful songwriter, Andrew Peterson, and he just says that after the last tear falls, there is love. And so even in the midst of all the anguish of war and conflict, for veterans and for their families, there is always love. And that love is our hope and our sustenance in all things. Thank you for listening.